Occasionally we have a performer who is not from New England. Our next singer was born and raised in England.
Old England.
Excuse me?
In Old England.
In Old England, he says, okay. And I gather that he's currently based in some in New York City and some in Colorado, and he's on very busy touring schedule, it seems to me, throughout New England and the Mid-Atlantic, and we're lucky to have nabbed him for tonight. This next performer has won over 40 different awards for his songwriting and performing. And I was reviewing some of that, and most of these awards I'm not really familiar with, except for one, the Kerrville New Folks. I assume that that's always, in my mind, one of the top awards for a songwriter, Kerrville, Texas Folk Festival. But even beyond that, I guess what really catches my eye is that this guy has had his songs recorded by so many different artists, and two artists, in fact, one based in Nashville, one in Los Angeles, have recorded entire albums of his music, which I guess is the definition of a tribute. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rupert Wates.
Very much. Thank you so much. I'd like to say thanks to Adam for putting this evening together. It's a pleasure to be following Martin, who's a wonderful musician. It's nice to be here, playing in front of real people. Again, you are real people, aren't you? You're not holograms. So here's a little love song. This is called I'm Amazed. I'm amazed by your love. And I don't need the mountains, and I don't need the trees. Well, I don't need the splendor of the sun that shines on me. Well, I don't need the treasures buried out at sea. Well, I don't need the lovely gardens of antiquity. I've traveled far, and all that I've seen left me cold, twisted and scarred. Nothing could move in my soul. But I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now and all the days of my life. Dreams claw at me in the night, and they whisper of tragedies not yet come to light. We must hold on to these precious times when I'm here by your side and you are by mine. And out on the road, though you are far from me, everywhere I go, wonder is all that I see. It's better than the mountains, it's better than the trees, better than the splendor of the sun that shines on me. It's better than the treasures buried out at sea, better than the mighty temples of antiquity. I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now and all the days of my life. Yes, I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now and all the days of my life. Thanks, everybody. You may be wondering why I've got 3 guitars up here on stage. It's actually because Adam booked a trio. And I want to give you your money's worth. No, it's because they're all in different tunings. Nothing more boring than watching a guitar player tune up. So I like to keep them ready and waiting in the correct tuning. So let me tell you about myself. It really is my favorite subject. All songwriters ever do is talk about themselves. Anyway, my first name really is Rupert. One of those names that says, I don't come from around here. But that's okay, kind of helps to set me apart a bit. Second name is Wates. So the whole thing reads Rupert Waits. Well, what does Rupert wait for? This is a song about waiting. It's called Waiting to Begin. When I was a little boy, the world was like a Christmas toy. Life a game that I was sure to win, and I'm waiting to begin. Work hard and get ahead. In time all things will come, they said. That was only so much spin, and I'm waiting to begin. I'm waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. I'm still waiting to begin. I never crossed the starting line. The race has left me far behind. I'm no longer in my prime. Still the siren voices sing. They're calling from the promised land, stolen from me by some sleight of hand. Life's a shadow of the one that I planned, until I find the real thing. I'm waiting to begin, still waiting to begin. I'm waiting to begin. I'm still waiting to begin. Days come and go, and all I really know is that I'm slowly getting older. No more time to waste if I to join the race. It's already halfway over. Let me do all that I intend. I'm gonna give all that I have to spend. The road is rushing towards the end, but I'm waiting to begin. I'm waiting to begin. Still waiting to begin. I'm waiting to begin. I'm still waiting to begin. Thank you. Hey, Jim, could I get just a little bit more guitar in the monitor? Jim, I want to give you a warm thanks to Jim for running the sound this evening, everybody. Jim's doing a great job on the sound. We said earlier that the mark of a good sound engineer is that nobody notices what he does. You only notice him if he screws up. It's a kind of a thankless job, a bit like teaching. Anyway, yeah, thanks, Jim. So here's a song that I wrote some years ago in London, England. It's really about rain, because you get a lot of rain in London, England, but it's about the moment when the rain is finally gone and we look out of our windows and see the world glittering, shining, and full of promise. And it feels a bit like that right now. We've come through a long period of rain, I'm sure you'll agree. But now we can look out and see, the light at the edge of the clouds and the light at the edge of the tunnel. It feels like it's after the rains. This is called After the Rains. The eagle shakes his feathers dry, and after the rains are gone, makes his home the wide blue sky. And after the rains are gone, and colors waiting to amaze are open to the gentle rays of the day to come. After the rains are gone. And we will walk in clearer lights, and after the rains are gone. And we will see with clearer sights, and after the rains are gone. And when the rain dries on our cheeks to leave us on our mountain peak, then we will hear our vision speak. After the rains are gone, far from the thunder's reach, we'll hear a different song, love calling each to each. And through the mist of joy and pain, the morning bird will sing again, although the night was long. And if no trace of us remains to say we walked in love's domain, his will be our song after the rains are gone. The eagle shakes her feathers dry, and after the rains are gone, and makes her home the wide blue sky. And after the rains are gone, after the rains are gone. Thank you. Oh, it's very nice to be here. I want to tell you about the big event that took place in my life in the last 2 years. Was that I became a father, would you believe? Yeah. Better late than never, in my case. So my son Gabriel was born March 2020 in New York City. What a great time and place to be born. We didn't choose it. 1 week later, and I would not have been allowed in the hospital because by that time they were turning away everybody but the mother from the maternity ward because of fear of infection. I wouldn't have been able to be present at that powerful, moving and unforgettable event, which was the birth of my son. Anyways, I was going in and out of the hospital. I would pass through a set of revolving doors, big revolving doors, and I would go in and someone would come out. And of course, I was very aware that this being the start of a pandemic in a big hospital, not everyone who went in through those doors ever came out unless they were carried feet first. So it was kind of a metaphor, if you like. It suggested to my songwriter's brain an image of life, meeting, parting. Isn't that what we do in life? Often too soon. And that's an idea that I'm going to have to convey to my young son when he's of an age. This is a little song that I wrote for him. The image that came into my mind was that of the carousel at a carnival, the horses going up and down, up and down. This is called the Carnival Waltz. All the pretty horses go round and round, painted in colors so gay, prancing and dancing while the music plays. And so many people are standing in line, waiting to take a ride. Some may be happy and some may be hurting inside. As long as the wheel keeps turning, we'll watch them all go by. Some say hello, and some are waving goodbye. For every face that is passing from us, another will always come round. And all we've lost someday will surely be found. Round and around they go, round and around they go, round and around they go. While the pretty horses go up and down, painted in their colors so gay, prancing and dancing while the music plays. And every good friend that we've lost on the way someday will come to the sound, and we are all riding the merry-go-round. Round and around we go, round and around we go, round and round we go. Very much. Thank you so much. This is a song that I based on a true story. The story took place in 1932 during the days of the Dust Bowl Depression, the mother of all depressions, as it's sometimes called. I'm sure that you all know that the Depression began in 1929 with the crash on Wall Street. By 1932, about a quarter of the adult male population was out of work, and the whole world was in recession. And this song is a kind of tribute to all the women of that period, the mothers, the daughters, the sisters, and the wives, and the aunts who kept the show on the road, literally. This tells the story of a poor American family who made their way across America on foot during the days of the Dust Bowl, which apparently was quite common, and how the women just helped all the men to believe that tomorrow would be better than today, and saved us, as they've done so many times through history. So here's to the strong women of America. This is a love song for you. My song, based on a true story, this is called Days of Mercy. Days of Mercy. Daddy lost his job one day when I wouldn't take a cut in pay. He couldn't find another place, even one that paid him less. So he settled into his easy chair with his dog-eared magazines until the bank took back our house. And my mama only screamed when she was a little girl. She had a dream, she found a pearl hidden in the pocket of her pants, but the pants were full of holes, and when she woke the pearl was gone, and she was only 6 years old. Hold on tight, my mama said, and keep your eyes upon the sun. Put your faith in the road ahead, the days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. So we sold up all we owned. We headed east in a touring car. We found a place with a plot of land down in windy Arkansas. Daddy worked on a lady's farm, but my mama heard it said he didn't work that lady's fields as much as he worked her bed. So she packed a cardboard case with a single change of clothes and took the baby on her hip. I told us all to follow close And we began the long walk home to the California coast. Hold on tight, my mama said, and keep your eyes upon the sun. Put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. When I fainted in the heat of the Oklahoma sun, my mama led me to a stream and dipped a cloth to bathe my head. We walked all through New Mexico, and in a migrant workers' camp I learned all there was to know about the kindness of the poor. Though the children dressed in rags, they gave us everything they had. Bags of sweets with ready smiles, fresh tortilla around the fire, in the huts of rusty iron. When the baby started crying, hold on tight, my mama said, and keep your eyes upon the sun. Put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. And so we finally reached L.A. Beside a lake in Lincoln Park, a man was standing all alone, throwing crumbs to feed the ducks. When are you gonna take those children home? Asked the man, and my mama said, we just walk 2,000 miles, we'll make it yet with a little luck. And then the man just looked away. He said he guessed his turn had come. He pulled out $2 bills, enough to see us right, for a can of pork and beans and some shelter for the night. Hold on tight, my mama said, and keep your eyes upon the sun. Put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. Hold on tight, my mama said, and keep your eyes upon the sun. Put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. Hold on tight, my mama said, and keep your eyes upon the sun. Put your faith in the road ahead. Days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. Very much, appreciate it. So much. I'll do something a bit different now. I'll do a couple of instrumentals. One is a Bach piece, J.S. Bach. But don't worry, his bark is worse than his bite. They get worse. So this actually was arranged by Leo Kottke, who's one of my favourite guitarists, Leo Kottke. Jesus, Joy of Man's Desire. And I'm going to go straight into one of my own tunes, which is called I'll Never Tire of Looking in Your Eyes. Both are instrumental, and I'm going to do them back to back. So what I'm essentially doing here by pairing one of my songs with one of J.S. Bach's is setting myself up for comparison with one of the greatest composers who ever lived. So please be generous. You're listening. Jesus, Joy of Man's Desire, followed by I'll Never Tire of Looking in Your Eyes. very much. So, I'd like to tell you about my wife's non-profit. She is the CEO and executive director of a non-profit. And the joke that we have is that she makes more money than I do. Having told you I wouldn't tune up on stage, I'm doing that very thing. Anyway, my wife's non-profit exists to help young kids, mostly girls, but some boys, who are struggling with their self-image. Thank you. Maybe they have issues of gender identity or problems with their weight, bulimia, anorexia, what have you. My wife goes into high schools with a theatre piece which she performs, the goal of which is to persuade these young kids that they're beautiful just as they are and not as the world would like them to be. I decided to write a little fairy tale based on that idea. I envisaged a young girl who lived on a desert island for 3 days and 3 nights. And though no one ever came to visit her, and there was no social media, she decided she was going to make her desert island a beautiful place. And this is called The Ballad of a Brown-Eyed Girl. She was a young girl with eyes of brown, lived 3 days all alone on an island where the wind and the rain made a pitiful sound, and the sun and the sea endlessly pound the rocks on the shore and the white sand. On the first day she wrote with a stick in the sand words of welcome to all passing sailors. But as evening fell on the very same day, the tide coming in washed her words away, while the light of the moon grew paler. On the second day she stood at her window and sang a beautiful song to the morning, but no one was there on her island to hear, and the beautiful song that she sang disappeared in the sound of the rain that kept falling. On the third day she woke and she planted the seed of a rose that would bloom in her garden. But the sun beats down and it withered the rose, for she'd chosen a place where no river flows, in a land that never gives pardon. And though none ever read what she wrote on the sand, or heard what she sang from her window, though the rose that she planted died in her hand, for 3 days the cruel world was a lovelier land, for the brown-eyed girl had made it so. She was a young girl with eyes of brown, lived 3 days all alone on an island where the wind and the rain make a pitiful sound, and the sun and the sea endlessly pound the rocks on the shore and the white sand. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I'd like to mention that my CDs are for sale. people still buy CDs. They're on a little piano stool bench just by the desserts next door. So I was thinking that if you were tempted by the desserts, perhaps you would also be tempted by one of my CDs. And I'd like to mention that they do have nutritional value, in that if you buy one of my CDs, then I eat. So bear that in mind, please. My new CD, For the People, which I released earlier this year, was number 6 in the folk charts in February of this year. Number 1 was Janice Ian. I was number 6, so that was kind of nice, because I used to go to her Janice Ian show when I was a young man. It was also album of the month in March in Glasgow, Scotland, on a radio station called Celtic Music Radio. So it's had a lot of nice things said about it. The album is called For the People, and I based the songs on Old English folk tales. Loosely based them on Old English folk tales. This is one, and this is called To the Sea. To the Sea. Can you tell me where my true love lies? What's that to me? What's that to me? Did she pass by on her morning ride? Follow the river to the sea. Were there wildflowers in her chestnut hair? What's that to me? What's that to me? It was for my sake she them did wear. Follow the river to the sea. There she'll wait on the sun-warmed sands while the waves rise and fall, where the old ruined castle stands and silence gazes from its walls. There she'll watch as the sailors make land, each with treasures galore. They will show her the pearls in their hands that they have brought from distant shores. And in time to come she'll not grow old. What's that to me? What's that to me? For a rusty coin she'll trade her soul. Follow the river to the sea. Can you tell me where my sweetheart lies? What's that to me? What's that to me? Did you hear her sing as she passed by? Follow the river to the sea. Follow the river to the sea. Follow the river to the sea. Thank you. So, Adam, how much longer do I have? 8 minutes. 8 minutes? 2 minutes?
2 songs.
Oh, 2 songs. Okay, right. 2 songs. Okay. We'll give you 2 songs. This is to find my flat pick. This is the only song I'm going to play with a flat pick. By the way, thanks again to Adam for putting the evening together. Adam, everybody. It's a real pleasure for me to come out and play for you guys tonight. The question I often ask myself is, when I look back on my life, will I feel that I did the right thing, or did I do the wrong thing? Was I justified? This is called Justified. Take me home and take me now, from the place where I hid. Take me home, only let me know, was I justified in what I did? free my hands and free my soul, and you will see me rise and fly. Take me home, only let me know if I was justified in your eyes. That I was so much younger then, that I was blinded by pride, and I flew too near the sun again. Was it justified when so many cried? Lay me down and lay me low. Take me now, my time has come. Take me home, only let me know if I was justified in what I'd done. Take me home and take me now from the place where I hid. Take me home, only let me know, was I justified in what I did? Was I justified in what I did? Was I justified in what I did? Thank you. Well, been a pleasure to play for you tonight. We're in a church. I wrote this song some years ago for some friends of mine who were going through a very hard time, and I think that music is one of the best things that we have to console each other in those difficult times. So this is a song called Prayer. Why don't we think about people we know and love who might be in need of a prayer tonight? I think a good many of them are in the Ukraine right now. So this is called a prayer, and it goes out for everybody who doesn't have a prayer tonight. Here's to you and here's to me. Here's to all we've ever seen, to all to come and all that's been. Here's to all we ever shared, to our fathers and to our heirs, to all people everywhere when they haven't got a prayer. Here's to the young and here's to the old, to the body and to the soul, to all whose stories are still untold. Here's to the lightness and here's to the weight, to the gay and to the straight, to all who die too soon or were born too late. Here's to our enemies and here's to our friends, to the river that never ends. Here's to the sinners and here's to the born again. Here's to the black and here's to the white, to the left and to the right. Here's to the evening and here's to the morning light, coming into sight. To the rich and to the poor, here's to the sea and here's to the shore. Here's to all people everywhere when they haven't got a prayer. When they haven't got a prayer. when they haven't got a prayer, when they haven't got a prayer, when they haven't got a prayer. Here's to the cop and here's to the priest, to the west and to the east. Here's to all they bring to the feast. Here's to the lion and here's to the lamb. Here's to the beast and the heart of man. Here's to the house on rock and the house on sand. Here's to the heart and to the head, to the living and to the dead. Here's to the joy and to the tears we shed. Here's to the first and here's to the last, to the future and to the past. Here's to all who ever raised their glass, anytime we asked. To the moon and to the sun, to all we lost and all we've won. Here's to all people everywhere. When you haven't got a prayer, 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 when you haven't got a prayer. Much.